Right, coach, good to see you again. How have you been?
Good morning, mate. Yes, I'm doing very well, thank you. Yeah.
Good man, good man. Nice to hear. Right, let's start with the main news then. The Queens have boosted their roster once again and have signed new guard Molly James from Loughborough Riders. So I just wanted to get your views really and your insight on your decision to bring her into the roster. What do you feel she will bring to the team?
Yeah, great question. I mean, she's first of all, she's a really dynamic guide. So she brings that level of athleticism to our team. I think that especially since Christmas, like our identity has started to form. Like we definitely are playing a faster paced, a faster brand of basketball. She will kind of give us some relief for Emma and Carol in and around the ball handling duty. So she'll be able to push and be the point guard. Vice versa. She'll be able to handle that 1 through 4 position for us. We don't play with, we're not blessed with a huge amount of size within the team compared to a lot of the other top clubs. So yeah, just really, really pleased. Like we've me especially, like I've known Molly for a really, really long time. I'm very close with her dad, Danny James. Like he was a legend down in the Plymouth Raiders when I was coming through the youth. Has been a really good mentor of mine. We looked to see if the deal would be right when we first knew that she was unsettled in the States. But I think at that time she genuinely needed to be in a familiar place, which was headed back to Leicester, and it's a fantastic setup there for her. But I think that once she kind of settled down and realised that she wanted to play at this level, Marg and her team are very, very, very settled at the moment. In terms of their rotations, and they're very ambitious. They want to get a trophy in the cabinet. So I just don't think that they had that room to develop a young talent. Whereas for us, that's what we're all about this year. It's about the building blocks. We want players in that we could potentially see be here for a number of years. But also vice versa as well. She's a really young guide, and the sky's the limit for her. Whatever she wants to put in is what she'll get out from it. So plausibly, you could see her, attempting to play in Europe as well. So, I think that's how highly I rate her as a guide, and what I think we could, what we're getting in that piece in Molly James, as well as just a really good cultural fit. She's a great girl. She knows a number of players on our team. So, that's another important add to it.
Yeah, and you mentioned actually just a minute ago that she has obviously had spent time out in the States. How important do you feel that is, the fact that she's obviously been out there where basketball is, massive, one of the main sports of the country, should we say? How important is it that she'll bring that experience with her over here, even though she is still really young?
Yeah, I think I think that move for anyone, whether it becomes successful, or whether it's been something that hasn't quite worked out, I think it's really important as a young player you go through it, because it is a completely different animal out there. I was a scholarship athlete out there myself, and it's a real grind mentally. It's really, really tough. So I think that she's coming back with a lot more strings in her bow than she did have. So she's coming back. She understands what it takes, to the work ethic needed at the level, and also the mentality that is needed as well. So yeah, I think it's good for her, and she's in a non-pressure situation. She can come in here, and I think that we're relaxed as a staff. I think that we're encouraging as a staff. I think we're positive as a staff with her, to give her that growth. She's gonna make mistakes, and that's okay, right? We all do. Like everyone's going through the same learning curve. I just think the level of expectation at Leicester compared to us as the Queens is just a completely different environment. So I think that will help her.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, be looking forward to seeing her play in the Queens then, definitely. So moving on then to the rest of the team. Last time I spoke to you, you mentioned Marley Ball was sat out with a bit of a niggle. She had a few weeks out. On her especially, and the rest of the team, how is the injury front? Is it okay? Is everyone sort of fit and ready for the weekend?
Yeah, everybody's healthy and available for the weekend, which is big for us. You know, this is a big weekend. These are the games that we mark on the calendar that we we expect to challenge in. You can't say expect to win. You know, Caledonia are a really great outfit. They've got better as well. They've added some pieces that have really not only complemented them but taken them up a level. So it's a really tough game, but it's a game that we expect to be in. We expect to be competing, and it's a game that we need to we need to win if we've got hopes for the playoffs. So yeah, having a full roster. I think at any point in the year, like once the season starts, there's always going to be like little niggles here and there, but there's no excuses with us. Like, we're business as usual.
Yeah, and you mentioned there that obviously Caledonia are quite close to you in the league. There, I believe they're just 1 point behind you. How do you see the game sort of going then? Do you see it going and edge, like, close scoreline, or do you feel as though you can really take the games then?
I think it's going to be a really exciting game. I think we both want to push the pace. So I think on the day it's going to be, who manages the pace, who executes, who's the most aggressive. I think that's what it's going to come down to out of those three things. I think every game's going to be a close game. You know, there's some teams at the top there that are so head and shoulders above everybody else. We don't need to give them any more plaudits than they already have and deserve. But I think everybody else, with us fighting for playoff position, I think every game has been competitive so far for those teams. So I think it'll be tough. You know, we've got a journey to manage there. That is a really, really heavy journey. Mentally, we've got to manage that in order to compete with Caledonia.